Oh.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
Home Repairs and Solutions, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air, your local Amana dealer. Here's your hosts, Mary Pearson and Mark Withers.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, it's so much better today.
Oh, yeah.
The weather and everything.
Well, I don't know. I'm sitting here looking out the window and I can't hardly see anything.
Well, I know. Well, it's but it's warmer. It's not freezing rain.
That's
it's not
true.
snowing.
Oh, yes.
You can actually get around most of the roads now.
Yeah.
I spent the last 2 nights with my daughter here in town because I didn't know if I was going to be able to get in from the lake or not. They're talking about all that ice and stuff. So
Yeah.
I still don't know what it did down there, but I'm going home tonight. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just, it's kind of weird because it was so cold that when I got up this morning, went outside, it almost felt warm.
Oh, I know it.
It
I
was
know
like
it.
37 degrees. Wow, it's warm out here.
Yeah, it's amazing just to, from the deep freeze that we were in a week ago, and then, it can just warm up 20 degrees, and you think, oh, wow, man, this is...
I know I'm not even wearing a coat
Yeah.
today. That's just nuts.
Yeah, really.
But it just feels warm to me
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
which is good because I hate the cold.
Yes.
I am not a
yes.
cold person. I don't like it to be cold.
I'm actually more of a cold person than I am a hot person, but I noticed a big difference after I had my heart surgery and stuff. The cold bothers me a little bit more than what it used to.
I've heard a lot of people say that
Yeah.
after they've had heart surgery.
Yeah. Now, what's weird is at night when I sleep, I half the time don't even have any covers on me or anything. And I used to have to cover up, didn't matter how hot it was. Now, winter, summer, whatever, I don't want covers on me. So that's just weird that changes. But
I think you're just getting old.
I think that's probably, yeah, thank you, Mary. I really appreciate that.
I think you're going through menopause.
My boss, Dan Clark over at Remax, he made that comment to me a couple days ago because we're up on the second floor, and in our area, we have our own, heating and air up there, and the furnace has been off. I opened my office door, and it's just, to me, it's like an oven in there, and I had my window open and everything, and he walked by, and he looked, and he's like, "Is it really that hot in there?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, to me it is." I said, "I'm sitting here burning up." And he said, "I think you're just going through menopause or something." So I said, "Thanks a lot,
You never know. You never know. I don't think
right.
us women should have all the fun.
Well, no, I'm sure not. So, but yes, I do enjoy this little bit warmer spell that we have here.
Me
It's
too.
a little more comfortable to get outside. I like to see this stuff melting off. And yesterday morning, we went down to Hollister to look at some building products down there, and they got a little bit more down there than what we did, but it wasn't
did they?
bad or
Okay.
anything.
Well, good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So
I would imagine with it getting up into the middle to upper 50s by Sunday, I'll bet there'll be people in shorts Sunday. I'll bet you.
I'll bet there'll be people riding motorcycles.
Yeah, I hope I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm planning on it.
Me too. I might just have to get mine out of the garage.
Yep.
I walked by it last night, and I thought about just starting it just to listen to it run, and I thought, no, it'll just make me want to get out there and ride it, and it's not good. Not on my street.
No.
So.
No. Some of the side roads are still kind of
Yeah.
bad, but I think they'll melt off and stuff today.
Yep, I think so.
But, and then coming in, I wasn't for sure if I was going to be able to get in the studio today. They're digging up something out there. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it's a water main break or what, but I guess we've had a lot of those in the city here recently.
We have. I know I was watching the news this morning or yesterday evening, and they were talking about like around 40 of them or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah, it does. But, it happens this time of year, especially when we have the freeze like we've had, and the ground starts freezing, and it moves, it pushes, it either goes up or down.
Sure.
when it
Yeah.
when it expands and everything, when it freezes, and a lot of times it'll just push down and bust those pipes. It's
Yeah,
not
because
necessarily
it looked like they were mostly busted from what I saw on TV from the
from
top.
the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not that they freeze and bust. It's just that the ground freezing and expanding puts pressure, and
And a lot of those
then-
they're clay pipes. Is that what they are? They're not. I
You
don't know what they are.
know,
They kind of look like a clay type. The one I saw, but I don't
and
know.
there's probably several different, and they've real old parts of town. There'll be one type of pipe, and stuff that hadn't been changed in years and years, and so I'd say there's probably a hodgepodge of
Well,
different
that's
type.
probably true. That's
Yeah.
probably true.
Yeah, but the ground expanding and moving and stuff when we have a hard freeze like that causes that. So
I don't guess you've had that problem at your house.
no, haven't.
That's good.
Haven't had any problem. As cold as it's been, no problems with water lines freezing or anything like that. So we've been really lucky.
That's good. Yeah, I haven't had any issues either. I was talking to I was with some folks the other day, and we were kind of talking about water freezing, and some people were concerned about if their pipes were going to freeze and stuff. And so we had this discussion. Should you let the faucets drip? Does that make a difference? Should you turn them all on? Do you just need to turn one on? Which ones do you turn on? How much does the water need to, so we were having this discussion about what to
Right.
do to keep your pipes from freezing. And what I've always heard and what I was always told is that you really don't need it running. You just need it to be dripping periodically.
Dripping, yeah.
And you need to turn on the faucets, any faucet that has an exterior wall.
Right.
So you don't necessarily have to turn on everything that you have in your house as a faucet unless it's against an exterior wall of the house. And then it's a good idea to have that one dripping.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was told right there.
You're right on it. You're especially anything that you have on an outside wall. I have just one. My kitchen faucet is on the outside wall. And two, if you have foundation vents, you want to make sure your foundation vents are closed.
Yes, I did do that this year.
Yeah, and I got a couple. I realized I forgot to close, but they weren't close to a water line or anything that it would hurt. But and another big thing, of course, we always tell people make sure your water hose is disconnected because that'll definitely cause you problems there too. But usually on the outside wall, if you can give it a little drip, why that's good.
Yep, that's what I was always told. And I have two at my house. I have a kitchen sink, and then one of my bathrooms is against an exterior
Right.
wall. But down there, I talked to some folks who've been down there for like 20 plus years, and we have a shared well and that type of thing. And I was like, do we need to do anything? Do we need a lamp in there? Do we need something going on? And, I never thought about this before because my husband always took care of that, so I didn't have to worry about it. And,
Right.
And they said they had never had an issue because when they put all that in, they redid all those a few years ago.
Right.
And they buried them below the freeze line or whatever. And then the way our well is, or the one I'm on, has been recessed down.
Right.
And so we don't have heat lamps. We don't have anything on ours, and they've
Really?
never had water freeze or
great.
never had an issue. So far, knock on wood, I haven't had any water problems, and hopefully I won't.
Good. Hopefully you won't. That's right.
Yeah, that
So-
would be good.
Yep, that's for sure. We got a caller holding on. Let's talk to Gloria here in Springfield. Go ahead, Gloria.
Hello, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good.
I'll tell you, I couldn't call for over a week because I was hoarse. Not sick, no temperature, nothing like that, but I've been getting over it slowly.
You still sound like you're a little bit hoarse,
A
Gloria.
little bit, yeah, but it's good. I mean, from what I was,
Yeah.
but not sick,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just wanted to say, Mary, I'm glad I found you.
Well,
And you
thanks,
guys
Gloria.
installed my furnace, my air conditioner. And, my house is very well contained. I don't have to worry about freezing. But I still, when it's really cold, below zero, I open the cabinets to my...
Oh, yes.
Good idea.
I open the cabinet doors.
Mm-hmm.
Like in your kitchen and stuff where your pipes are.
That's right, even though I've never had a freeze-up.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard people say that. I had forgotten about that, Gloria.
I know, but I do open the cabinets, and if I leave my house, I leave it at 6 degrees. 60. Well, now it's going to be 55 Sunday. But I'm going on a journey today, Mary.
Where are you going?
Should I tell?
Well,
Well,
yeah.
I'm going with my granddaughter. She'll be here at 11. And actually, at Downstream, I bought my granddaughter, she's 29 now.
Uh-huh.
I bought her a bracelet. It's an Indian bracelet.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she lost one of the stones.
Oh.
And I called somebody here in Springfield where they do the jewelry for all the jewelry stores.
Mm-hmm.
His shop is closed down. I called him on the phone. I couldn't reach him. So I called this Indian down in Carthage. His name is Joe Hijo. And he said he'd be gone Thursday and Friday. But my granddaughter and I are going into Carthage. I think it was there 30 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
So we're going to go down there on a journey. We're going to his Indian shop where he made all this stuff. You don't do it for Downstream anymore. You don't understand why. And that's why they got such a podunk selection of jewelry now.
Well, hopefully he'll
you
get
know,
you fixed
anyway,
up.
And who knows? And I said to Joe, I said, do you know anything about Maria Pottery? Do you know what Maria Pottery is?
I have no idea.
It's a Navajo Indian Maria. I don't know what the heck you'd have to pay for a piece of pottery. I said, do you collect that? He said, I have some pieces. I said, are you surprised that I know about Maria Pottery? Because I know about Roseville and Weller and all that stuff. But anyway, so I'm taking you on a journey here. And I told my granddaughter, we're going to Carthage. I think I was there 30 years ago. They got a square. And we're going to find a restaurant to eat at. Then we're going down to Downstream.
I knew you were going to
Yeah.
go there, Gloria. I knew you would end up there.
Well, but we're going to play blackjack. I've only played 3 times. But last time she was down there, she won $150.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Give her
she's
$50.
well. There you go.
Well, that's nice.
And I'll play with her. It's going to the high slots area that I'm beware of,
Well, don't
do
spend
that.
all your money at Downstream, Gloria.
Do what?
Don't spend all your money down there.
Well, I'll tell you something. And, if nobody's listening, maybe they'll start listening. See, here's the thing. Last year, I won $398,000.
What?
But when you play the big slots, like $25 slots, $10, it goes really quick.
You're a big gambler,
yeah.
Gloria.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I go down there for my grandkids to go to the concerts, to swim in their beautiful pool in the summertime, and whatever else. They love to be with me.
That's great.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm not. But I lost $413,000.
Oops.
But here's the thing, and if nobody knows this, I'll tell you. If you're on Medicaid, I'm not on Medicaid. If you got Social Security and Medicare,
Mm-hmm.
see, if you played, Mary.
I can't keep up with you, Gloria.
Well, now wait a minute. If you played, yeah, you'd have fun with me. Believe me, everybody does. If you played, Mary, and you win,
Uh-huh.
that's okay. And if you lose more than what you win, you're fine. But me on Medicare
Uh-huh.
and Social Security, what they do on me, anything you win, they don't count. They don't care about what you lost.
They just care about what you
win
won?
is added to your income.
Oh, my.
And I got an appointment with Social Security on the 15th, and I'm going to argue that. And I'm going to argue with our Congressman, Billy Long. I'm going to say, why is that fair?
That'd be fun. We should have you and Billy on there arguing that out.
No, we haven't argued with Billy. I've known Billy since 1981.
I figured you'd known him for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, you guys have a great day. But
Well,
I
you-
just want to tell, like they got these buses, they take the old people down there to gamble.
Yes.
And they don't know, and I'm sure they're all on Social Security and Medicare.
Sure.
But they got to know anything they win.
Gets
They
added
gotta
on.
Add that to their income.
Well, you have a safe trip and have a good time with your granddaughter, Gloria.
I am looking forward to it. It's a journey. I've not been down to Carthage for about 30 years, and we're going to Hijo's place,
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Hijo. And, if you like Indian jewelry,
He's
gonna be
the one. Huh?
He's the one.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. That'll be on my bucket list to go down there.
Well, if you want to go, I'll take you.
Okay, I'll call you someday,
money.
Glory. We'll go down there and I'll watch you win lots of money.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have. I can get a suite.
Okay.
There you go. Hey.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
Gloria.
You know, something we need to do real quick, but we haven't done.
Give out the phone numbers.
We need to. Somebody else might need to call.
They might.
That's right. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, star 56 if you're on Verizon Wireless, or if you want to text us, 417-838-3192.
There we go.
Yeah,
Lots of ways to get a hold of us.
that's right. You can. You know, Gloria, they were talking about going to Carthage.
Uh-huh.
We play down Carthage
Yes,
every now
you
and
do.
then.
Don't you have something
And-
you do the same time every year there, or is that somewhere else? Am I getting you that confused with something else?
Oh, yeah, that's probably somewhere else.
Okay.
But we do play down there right off the square,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a place called the Woodshed. It's an old antique store, but they have a little theater built in there. But I tell you what, for the folks that haven't never been to Carthage, you ought to go. The square is beautiful.
It is. It's a neat place to go
Yes.
just to hang. And it's not that far. It's a good
No.
little day trip.
Yeah.
To go
Yeah.
down there and hang out. We went down there before and kind of went around and looked at some of the antique stores
Yeah.
and did that. It's just a fun little town, and
Yes,
I'm
it
like
is.
you. I love it when these older towns keep their squares up. You know,
Yeah.
like Ozark's really done a good job
Yes,
with
they have.
refurbing their square.
Absolutely.
And I just think that's neat because you have these really cool architectural buildings and stuff, and they've been, kind of refurbished a little bit, but kind of
Yeah.
kept the integrity of the structures. And
Yep.
I just think they're fun.
I do
You get a
too.
nice day and you can walk around, and
Uh-huh.
and a lot of the people that are in business there are still all the local people,
Yeah.
and it's just a fun thing to do.
Yes, it is.
And you're right, Carthage is a neat place
Yep.
to go.
Yep. Beautiful little place right there. So make that day trip and just, go down there and look
Got
around.
cabin fever? Run to Carthage.
Run to Carthage.
If you run into Gloria, go gambling with her. Apparently, she's pretty good at it. For the most part, I guess.
Yeah.
She should have quit when she was up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a big spender. When I get done with my $20, I'm out of there.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I can go and I can put $20 in. I play the penny slots, and I can play.
Oh, that'll
for-
keep you rolling for a while.
I can play for 2 or 3 hours, and sometimes I win, sometimes I don't. But it's just for fun. I do know other people. I won't mention any names, but it's just like put the money in, hit the max bet, bam, 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 they're out of money. you
Oh
know.
yeah.
And
That's just not something I was ever. I've just never really gotten into gambling.
no.
Now I like the dog track. I
Never
like
been.
I like to bet on the dogs. I like to go to the
Yeah.
dog races. And I like the horse races too. But I go once every 20 years
Yeah.
or something. And then Paul took me. We went to the dog races probably 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
But just to go sit in front of a machine and that
Yeah.
just doesn't do anything for
Yeah.
me. I think it's pretty boring actually.
Yeah.
And after a while, all that dinging and stuff just about drives me
Kinda-
nuts.
Yep, for
So-
sure. So, well, we hope you all are sitting in front of your radio this morning
We do.
and enjoying, not being bored, but enjoying home repairs and solutions. We haven't talked much home repairs. We've talked a little gambling and
All kinds of
day
things.
trips and stuff. But we started out talking there about frozen pipes and how important it is. Something that a lot of folks don't do, and it is very important to find out where your main shutoff is in your house. If you have
Yes.
a water line break,
Yeah.
and you don't know where to shut the water off at the main line coming in, it can run for hours before you can get a plumber there.
Time, yeah.
Uh,
Now I have a question. Since you
Uh-huh.
brought that up, you can also get additional cutoffs or shutoffs put on if you don't have them. Like some of the older houses
yeah,
might just have one main one, but like just say you just have a toilet that something happened with the toilet and you don't have shutoffs, you can
Yeah.
actually add those after the
Sure.
fact, right?
Oh,
So you
absolutely.
can have a plumber or someone come in, and if you don't have and I think it's important to have a shutoff at all of your toilets and
oh, I do too.
and even your sinks individually
Yeah.
if you can do that, because that way if you just have a problem in like a bathroom of your house,
Yeah.
you're not having to shut off the water to everything, and then you can just shut it off there and have someone come in. But for instance, when we bought our house in Nixa, when was it built? I don't remember now. Anyway, we didn't have shutoffs everywhere, and some of the outside faucets we switched out because we wanted different shutoffs and stuff
Right.
on them. And I didn't even think about that at the time until Paul started doing all that. And I'm like, well, what difference does it make? And then he says, well, if we have something wrong with the toilet, do you want all the water shut off to the whole house? I was
Exactly.
like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so if you don't have those, yes, they can be added.
and they're not, and I don't think it's very expensive to do that.
No, it's really
pretty,
not.
It's pretty cost effective, and if you have a problem,
Yeah.
you'll be glad you can shut off just portions.
Oh, yeah. Back when I was selling plumbing supplies years ago, a stop cost, $3 or $4. I'm sure they're a little bit higher now, but, it's a pretty inexpensive fix. Like you say, it's if you have a little bit of knowledge about what's going on, you can do it yourself. I recommend having a professional come and do it. But it's something that I feel is very important because, like you say, if you got to change a faucet out or something, you don't want to lose the water through the whole house. And but anyway, it's good to know where your shutoffs are. A lot of times in the furnace closet, you'll have your fresh air grate in the floor. You can raise that grate up, and a lot of times the valve will be there to shut the whole house off. Sometimes you have to go out to the meter and take the meter lid off and reach down in there and shut it off.
You know what? We had one underneath our kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it had I don't know what you call it, that little metal T-handle thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you turned it with that.
Yeah, and I've seen them in closets, in the corner of closets, whatever. So wherever yours is, you should find it and be knowledgeable of where it's at.
Yeah. Because you know what? We're not done with winter. We're going to just warm up, but I'm just, I'm not sure. I'm thinking we're going to have some more cold stuff come this way and some more freezing temperatures and stuff. So, while it's warm and you can kind of feel like moving around and maybe doing something, then kind of, if you don't know where that stuff's at, kind of check it out. And do they ever have them on the outside of the house? I guess you can have them on the outside of the house. Can you have a main shelf on the outside or no?
Yeah, but it's not very common.
Oh, okay.
Not around here.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally it's either at the meter, down in the meter pit. I have seen outside the house, then put because it has to be deep enough in the ground where it's not going to freeze.
I do have an outside shutoff at the lake, but I also have inside shutoffs too. So
an outside shutoff for the whole house, other than at the meter, is not very common around here.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
But
good to know.
Yep, that's for sure. You know what? It is break time.
I know.
Wow.
I'm not sure we accomplished this first half hour.
We've had a good time.
Yes, we have, but we always do.
Yeah, that's right. We always do. So, we'll be back with more home repairs and solutions right after this. Now, if you've got a problem and you don't know what to do, your siding's going bad and you're plagued with green mildew. Well, your faucets, they all drip, and your sinks are all clogged up too. Well, there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
News on the Ozarks News Network. Two brothers are now under arrest in the case of a woman who was kidnapped and robbed near Washburn. Prosecutors say it was 21-year-old Matthew Miller and his 26-year-old brother Michael who kidnapped a woman from her home, stuffed her into the trunk of her car, and used her debit card to withdraw money from banks in Cassville and Berryville, Arkansas. A man already in prison for robbery has now been sentenced to 30 more years for killing a teenager 10 years ago. Patrick Dodd strangled Becky Sutton, who was 19 at the time. The body was found later in Mark Twain National Forest. And fires destroyed a former bar in Fair Grove. The blaze was at Farm Road 2 and Cabin Creek Road. The bar had been closed for years, and the building was being used for storage. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
And join us for America's First News, Monday through Saturday at 6:05 a.m. on the Wall Street Journal This Morning on AM 560 KWTO.
Network 2014 is today from 9 to 2 inside the Remington's Event Center at Kansas Expressway and Republic Road. Admission is $5 with prize drawings every 5 minutes. 2 free Branson Airport airline tickets will be given away today, but you must be registered by 1:30. Plus food and drinks courtesy of Hoo Hot, Mongolian Grill, and Nuke's Eatery. Network 2014 is made possible by Color 10, Arvest Bank, Wireless Trends, Holmes & Griffith Financial Planners, Sam's Club, TSI Technology Solutions, and this station.
This is Morris Westfall inviting you to tune in weekdays for the latest in farm headlines. Program times are 6:30 a.m. on KWTO 560 and again after the noon news on KBFL 99.9.
In times of joy, in moments of grief, broadcasters come through, even when all else fails. Today, with more ways than ever to experience the moments that transform our lives, Americans still choose broadcast radio and television more than all other media combined. We are the local broadcasters of radio and television, reaching more people, touching more lives.
Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and locally owned and operated KTXR, KWTO AM and FM, and KBFL AM and FM.
Morning fog, then it will be cloudy with periods of rain today, high of 50. Tonight, watch for icy spots. Rain will end in the evening, then it will be cloudy for the rest of the night. We'll have a low of 28. Partly to mostly sunny and breezy tomorrow with a high 48. Then on Sunday, breezy and milder with plenty of sunshine, high of 58. Mostly sunny Monday, high 52. I'm AccuWeather's Kevin Steiner.
It's 42 degrees at AM 560 KWTO.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And
There
we're
we go.
back.
We are here.
When the music stops, that means we get to speak again.
When the music's over, we take over.
We can talk some more.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Hey, I want to say send my thoughts and prayers out to a family in Marshfield, Missouri. The Wilsons down there. For years and years, they have done the excavating for all my family and you know, builders and everything. And Miss Wilson, she passed away this past week. I think her funeral was yesterday, but great family down there, and they've done digging out your homes or businesses, you know, for construction and everything or whatever. They've done it all. But anyway, we was honored that they asked us to come and sing at the funeral.
Oh, wow.
And my dad, he had surgery yesterday morning, and so he couldn't go and stuff. So anyway, everybody came to the house a couple nights ago. We set up the microphones, or we recorded all the songs for them to play down there at the funeral service.
Oh.
And so hearing our theme song there reminded me of that. And so anyhow, I just wanted to say hi to all them folks down there. Nice people, and hate it because of their loss. But
Yeah. Well, condolences to
yep,
them. and
absolutely.
Hopefully they're listening, maybe.
I bet some of them
So-
is. Yeah. So, you know, go ahead, Mary. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I mentioned it last week that my sister and I now own Dogwood Printing there in Ozark, and we were working in the shop the other day, and we have a propane tank that supplies our gas for our furnace there. And I was out walking Tucker the other day, and I was checking the tank, and I knew what was in it, you know, when we purchased it. And I was looking at the gauge, and I was like, whoa, we certainly are going through a lot of gas here. So, and I took a few minutes, a few days before, I was kind of looking at the furnace, and I thought, okay, I think we have an issue here. So I called my son. Of course, I would call Spring Mountain Air to come and check out our furnace for us. And so we ended up having to replace the flue pipe. We were getting some little carbon monoxide leakage there. And he put a smart chip on there. And the furnace kept going off and on and off and on and off and on. And so he put on one of those smart chips for us. And then we were checking the propane tank out there. And there's no two-stage regulator on there. So when they came out. And something else is when buy an existing business and they have a propane tank, if it changes hands by law, they have to come out and inspect everything again, which I thought was interesting.
Huh, I
So they
didn't know
came out
that.
and inspected all that. And so I was asking the guy who came, he was a really nice guy. And I said, is there a 2-stage regulator out there? And he said, no, there's not. And I said, well, there should be. And he said, well, I would agree with you. And he said, I said, well, how fast can you put one of those on there for me? And so they're going to put one on next week. And I don't know how many people are out there. We always recommend that if we're working with someone that has a propane tank. And I had just forgot about it. I didn't think about it. But because we had one, and we had propane in Nixon, we had a 2-stage regulator going into the house. But if you don't have one, you should call your gas company and request they put one on. It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but it will save you a ton of money. It'll pay for itself the first month, because what that does is that it changes the gas pressures coming in, so you're going to use a lot less propane, and your furnace is going to run better. It's going to run more efficient if you get the pressure set right coming in. And what they told me is they're responsible for the line to the tank, but from the tank to the building is the owner's responsibility.
Right.
So if you don't know that, or if you don't know if you have a 2-stage regulator, you might want to check with whoever you're buying your gas from or renting your tank from and find out. Because in 8 days, we went through almost 100 gallons of propane.
Wow.
I about fainted. So anyway, we're gonna get that taken care of immediately. And one way to do that is put that 2-stage regulator on there. Another way is to have us come out and put one of those smart chips on there. And it was kind of funny because the sisters who we bought that from have been there for 20 plus years. And they were just used to the furnace doing its thing or whatever.
Right.
And we got ready to leave at the end of the day because they fixed that morning. And one of them looked at me and said, wow, that furnace isn't running so much anymore, and it's more comfortable in here. And I said, I know. So if you find yourself running through lots of propane, of course we're going to use more than we normally do because of extremely cold temperatures. But you might want to have, that's a couple things you can do. Have them checked to make sure you have a 2-stage regulator going into your home, for your furnace, and call Spring Mountain Air and have them put one of those smart chips on there. We figure with the 2-stage regulator and the smart chip and fixing the flue pipe, we probably increased our efficiency by at least 50%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is unreal.
Yeah, I figured it's going to save us 50 to 60 gallons a month in propane. Propane is $2 and something a gallon, so figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and most people wouldn't know about a 2-stage regulator.
Right. Most people
I would
don't.
never thought about that,
Yeah. Most people don't. And like I said, I hadn't thought about it. We had one in Nixon. It was just I haven't had a propane tank in so long that it just didn't, it wasn't something I was thinking about with everything else I'm trying to do. And so that was something that was brought to my attention. And so when I checked on it, they said, oh, absolutely. And your furnace will be more efficient and you'll use a lot less propane and da-da-da-da. So
it's awesome.
People with propane tanks, check into that.
Check into that. That's right.
Yep. Save you some money. I like to save people money.
Boy, I tell you what, and people love to save money.
Yep. Me too.
And I mean, we all do. And, there's little things like that you can do. And, call Spring Mountain Air. Just ask them, say, hey, this is what's going on at my place. Is there anything we can do? And you have the expertise to help them out and say,
we do.
Yeah, we can do this, or you need to do that, whatever. And, so there is little things like that you can do that will save you money.
That are very economical to do. It's not going to cost an arm and a leg to do it. It's not like replacing your furnace now. If you do have an older furnace you need to replace, we can help you with that. But, make sure you have a 2-stage regulator. And that smart chip makes a huge difference in the field because we're in an older building. It's brick. It's just like the one Spring Mountain Air's in right now. There's no insulation. There was no regulations or inspections when these buildings were put up. And so, we have all these air drafts coming through the front glass and the windows and around the doors and in the plugins and, all that kind of stuff. So the good thing about that was if you have a carbon monoxide leak, we had so many air holes in that building that it really wasn't affecting us, severely at this point. But that would be the good thing I would say about that. But, the other thing is with all the air leakages and stuff and with a faulty flue and all the other issues we had, we were really going through the propane. So, yeah, I just thought I would mention that today because I know a lot of people do have propane tanks here.
Yes, they do.
There's a lot of people on propane, and,
Yeah.
and so that's something that your gas company will do for you.
Absolutely.
So I'll make my money back on that 2-stage regulator probably in 1 month, and I'll get my money back on that smart chip in a year or less, depending on the temperatures and how cold it gets or how hot it gets. So
Now, will the smart chip work on electric furnace as well as gas furnace?
I believe it works on anything.
On
yes.
anything?
Mhm.
Okay.
On any system.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I seen something really interesting the other day. I was driving north on Kimbrough, going across town, and they're close to MSU. There's some new apartment buildings built there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
On this, and it was the day that it was, we had below zero temperatures. It was so cold. And on this new apartment building, I don't know, 4 or 5 stories, I'd say. Part of it's brick, and then you'd have a section of like stucco looking, stuff. On the section where it was the stucco, because it's painted, it's dark, and you could really see this. You could tell every window in that section that was not properly sealed, that was leaking because it was so cold. What energy they was losing out of those windows would come up and freeze,
And
on
it was
the
running
outside,
down?
and you could see it. Well, you could see the frost above the
Oh,
window
yeah.
where the heat was coming out. And so, not saying that it was improperly built or anything like that, but that's things that normally we couldn't see, that we wouldn't know. So they may have missed getting those caulked.
Yeah.
Who knows? But, if you have even new construction, don't think that you're completely sealed up and tight.
That's
Check
true.
those things.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and people have the misconception sometimes, well, I'll build a new house, everything will be perfect. That is so not true.
Yeah, exactly.
That is not true. Paul and I had one new house one time. We bought a brand new house in Humble, which is, when I think about it, it was like 1,100 square feet. It was $40,000. We financed it for 30 years at 12%.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Uh-huh.
But, the first probably 6 weeks or so we were in there, we had so many issues. I went in one day, and they had mowed behind us, and a piece of the lawnmower flew off and flew through the plate glass window. I had glass all over the kitchen.
Wow.
Well, they took care of that, obviously. But then one day I was coming home from the store and was going to put the groceries up, and the cabinets were falling off the wall. So they had to come back and put the cabinets back up. And so you have just little things in new construction that are going to happen until you get everything settled out. So, and that can be in commercial, any kind of building.
Sure,
And
yeah.
especially in a big building like that where you're doing all that, you might miss something. It's just, we're human beings, and the chance of missing something, like maybe not caulking a window or something, is going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just kind of be aware of that, and just kind of know, that's something else I'm going to probably have done out there is probably going to do some caulking and stuff around some of them windows and different things like that to try and alleviate some of this.
Sure.
I'm kind of heating the outside a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It happens. And so, a tube of caulk and a little bit of weather stripping and stuff goes a long way. And it's good for winter or summer, either one.
Sure.
Because,
absolutely.
Absolutely. You want to be as efficient as possible. I learned a new term. This was on the segment on the news, and I'd never heard this before, called quaking.
Quaking. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I didn't know what that. I knew what it was.
Is that when you're nervous and you're shaking in your boots, or what?
Yeah. I'm sure you've been sitting in your house and watching TV or not be quiet in there, and you hear pops and cracks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my,
What is
what's going
that?
on? What's going on? Well, the term that they're using now for that is quaking.
Oh.
And wood moves.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Wood's a natural product. It moves. It shrinks and it swells and stuff. And like when we get these extremely cold temperatures, if you have a house that has like vinyl siding on it and all your wood framing and everything, it's gonna shrink and expand by the temperature and all, and it can move just a fraction and make a huge pop when it's against a nail or other wood. Yeah. And so all these little noises that you hear popping and cracking in your house, that's just natural. That's what happens with lumber.
Yeah.
And they call that quaking now.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
My lake house says that it's a wood frame, and then we've got siding and stuff on it. And sometimes if I'm sitting there reading or something, you'll hear little, and I have all wood floors, and so they do that.
Yeah.
And Something else that I think is interesting, where my cabinets come against the wall, and then I've got wood and stuff there, and we've painted everything. Well, it'll expand and contract, and every once in a while you'll see it looks like you missed a little thin line of paint.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened there? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, it's just the wood expanding and contracting.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, it covers it back
It covers
up.
it back up. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of, it absolutely moves. It
Yeah.
sure does.
I built a new house down Marshfield several years ago, and had custom cabinets built, and they were oak doors, and they were like solid oak. And I had wood heat. And during the winter time, the doors would bow out.
Yeah.
And during the summertime, they would bow the other way.
Yeah.
It's just especially if you do have wood heat, it's a lot drier and it dries things out a lot more. And you'll get a lot of little cracks and stuff that you're like, where did that come from?
I noticed a lot in my wood floors down
Yeah.
there. In the wintertime, the little where they were put together is the separation is a little wider in the winter
Yeah.
than it is in the summer, and you
Yeah.
just I just notice little things like that goes on
Yeah.
with the change of the seasons, and so your house is kind of a living thing, I guess.
It is, there at one time, and I'm sure they probably still do it quite often, but people were doing some of the steel framing, like your commercial buildings using steel studs and stuff, and which that's fine, but to me that's just cold. I don't know. I like I like being in a wood house, even though you don't see it. It's behind the sheetrock. You got wood there.
There's a different feel.
It's a different feel.
Yeah, it's a different feel for sure.
But yeah, it's hard to get away from using wood products. They're going to move on you. I mean, that's.
But isn't that
what
kind
it
of
is.
a good thing though? Because the ground, I mean, you kind of want something with a little give, I would think.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Noises and stuff like that just don't really bother me. I'm just thinking, oh well, it's just whatever's happening is happening, and unless you hear a big crash or something, then you might want to check that.
Then you want to check that, but
make sure no one ran through the garage or the bedroom or something like that.
Yep,
Meteor
that is
didn't
true.
fall through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, that would not be a good thing. So.
No, it would not.
Yep. So, but a lot of little things that you can check, especially this time of year. We're warming up these few days, so if last week when we had below zero temperatures, you're sitting there in your recliner and you feel this draft coming in. Well, that window's leaking a little bit of air. Okay, we're going to have 50-degree
there
days.
You go.
Get
caulk
out
it.
there and caulk it. Take care of it now. That
well,
way,
you really can't.
You
you really can't caulk when it's that cold, can you?
Oh, I
don't
no,
know.
It needs,
you have
it
to
needs
have
it needs to be a little bit warmer.
It'd be hard to do that when it's freezing.
Yeah, there is some caulk that is made that you can use down in pretty low temperatures, but be sure and read the
the little instructions or directions or whatever.
Yep.
Is on the tube.
Yep. Follow the directions.
Which sometimes you guys have a hard time doing.
Us guys, really?
Yes, you guys.
Oh,
guys. You'll get something to put together. The instruction sheet goes over here, and about 3 hours later, you're like, "Wow, let me look at those instructions."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, I've done that before.
I know.
The thing I always hated more than any is that put together furniture that you get.
Oh, some assembly required. Beware if it says some assembly required.
Yeah. I got a big desk and stuff one time. It was really nice, but it was all put together, and there was like a jillion screws and stuff.
Did you have parts left over?
No, I actually didn't have parts left over.
Were you short?
No.
Wow. Well, you did pretty good.
I did good.
You're either over or under, it seems like, on those projects. It's
Yeah.
like you don't get the right screw, or you don't get enough, or you have like a pile left. It's like, uh-oh, what did I forget to do?
Yeah. That's what happens when I always work on a car. I'll look and I'll have parts left, and I'm like, where'd they go,
Maybe I don't need them.
Yeah, really. Oh, it's just extras, so. But yeah, that's follow the directions. And that's whether you're doing home repairs or whatever you're doing. Look at the directions.
Yeah. It'll make it easier and probably quicker in the long run.
Probably
I would
so.
imagine.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Do
Yes.
you have your music deal tonight?
I'm glad you asked. Yes.
You were going to forget about that, weren't you?
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, tonight's our big jam out at River Bluff Fellowship.
I thought so.
On Evans Road. Starts about 7 o'clock tonight. And, yeah, we're just going to have a lot of fun. And
Now, do you have a guest coming in to play? Or
no
what are you
guests or
doing
anything
Okay.
tonight. We're just having big jam sessions all over the
Okay.
place. So bring your instrument and just
Everybody can just play
everybody
along
can just play
and-
along, or if you want to just come and listen, while you can just move from room to room and listen.
That was my next question is, do you have like different groups set up to, or are y'all just in one room together playing all
Oh
together?
no!
Okay,
There's
you're in different groups and
yeah. I tell you what, River Bluff there's such nice folks out there, and they've really
they have a nice facility.
very accommodating,
Mhm.
and they just let us have all the classrooms and everything, and
Okay.
so we have all kinds of different jam sessions
I
going
see.
on. We'll have usually a room, we call it the slow jam room. It's more for beginners and stuff, and then hey, we'll just all
Because that was my next question. If you're
Yeah.
beginning or if you're semi-pro or whatever, I think it would be hard to try and all
Sure.
do that together. So no matter what your level of expertise is, there
Yeah,
will be a
there'll
group
be a
there
group
that you can
there
play
that
with.
you can play with, and
Okay.
so yeah, it's a lot of fun. And also, while we're on that subject, March the 1st is our big Convoy of Hope fundraiser that we do every year out there.
Yes,
So,
I forgot.
yeah.
That'll be here before we know it.
It will. So I'm currently working on getting some flyers and stuff done. I think I got all my bands booked, and we're going to have a great time. Going to do something just a little bit different. We got a group called the Honky Tonk Renovators, which are a kind of a traditional country band with a little bit of a beat to them. And
Wow.
they play some hardcore country.
Really?
And yeah, they're great. And so Honky Tonk Renovators
Now,
are
are
going to be
they
with us.
around here local or?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Okay.
And so they're going to be with us, as well as some great bluegrass groups. And
And
we're
you
just gonna have a
where's
good
the
day.
location? Where do you guys do that at?
Out at River Bluff
Out at River
Fellowship.
Bluff.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And that's March 1st. Is that on
March
a Saturday?
1st on a Saturday. Yeah.
Mark your calendars.
Mark your
folks.
calendars for it. I'll be talking more
Or
about
you'll
it.
forget about it.
Yeah.
I have to have a
That's right.
calendar, write everything down, or I don't remember nothing anymore. It's nuts. But
Oh, well,
and that way it's good to know to plan ahead because sometimes you'll think, oh, I don't have anything going on. You'll plan something else and went, oh shoot,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I did not-
forgot
yeah, I
about
forgot
that.
about that,
So if
so.
you write it down and then you look at your calendar and
Uh-huh.
someone wants you to do something goofy that day, you can say, no, I already have plans. I'm
Yep.
going to go out to Convoy of Hope and
Raise some money.
help them raise some money and help some folks out. So.
Yep, that's right. So
And that's always a great cause.
It
You
is.
do that you've done that for several years.
this will be, I think, our eighth, either our
Yeah.
8th or 9th coming up.
That's great.
And yeah, we've really been successful with that. And Convoy of Hope, they're such great people. My two favorite charities are Convoy of Hope and the
And
Breast Cancer
Fund-
Foundation of
mhm.
the Ozarks.
Yep.
And I will just do anything I can for
Yep.
either one of them. They're both great people.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yep.
We have a lot of great charities that you can get involved with around here. So find something you have a passion about and
Sure.
get involved.
Yeah, that's right. And that makes you feel good.
It does.
Yeah.
It
so,
sure does.
So what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I'm going to go home and then I'm going to be working on some things. I'm still getting a lot of stuff together, for this new business that we bought and taking care of a lot of stuff that way. And then hopefully Sunday I'm going to go for a ride on my bike.
Oh, yes.
That would be great.
Yes, it would.
Might even go get an ice cream cone somewhere and pretend like it's sunny and 80.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that'd be great. So, hey, if you need business cards, brochures, flyers, letterheads, envelopes, all that kind of stuff, need to
Call
come-
Dogwood Printing.
Call Dogwood Printing. That's right. So
Yep.
down
If
at
you
Ozark,
if you
Missouri.
write books, we can do those for you too.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, great. So
Well, have a great weekend.
you do the same.
I will.
All righty. Well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions, and we're heard every Friday morning from what time? 10 to 11. I
10
had to
to
stop
11.
think for a minute. Right here on AM 560 KWTO.
To worry, I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.